And welcome back to this Wednesday's episode of Gabe's Cave. Y'all know what that means. It's a Meet the Artist. And I got a good one for y'all to meet today. But before we can do any of that, we got to take a time out and just thank our sponsor, RPGhiring.com. Thank you, RPGhiring.com. None of these cards, these trips, and these loot boxes would be possible without you guys. We really appreciate it. If y'all are in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kansas, Missouri, or Oklahoma, and you're looking for a new career, maybe you're just sick of the one you got, check out RPGhiring.com. They are building people, changing lives. And now, to introduce the artist for this week, we have Mr. BP the Maker, but y'all can call him BP. And the crowd goes wild.
How's it going, everybody?
What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming on and joining us today and taking this time out to talk about these cards. It's good to work with you again and good to see your stuff back out here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was excited to work on this set. I'm excited to work on the next.
Hey, and that sounds like a good thing. So we talked about this before you got on. You told me you work for a hockey team.
Yeah. I work for the Capitals here in DC.
That's awesome. So what is exactly do you get to do for the hockey team? Is it like graphic design, stuff like that?
Kind of. So I work in the business intelligence side, and I do a lot of hands-on training stuff. So I make videos and documents and things like that using graphic design. So yeah.
Business intelligence. So you're like in the FBI in the hockey world.
Yeah, I suppose.
Y'all better watch out for this guy. I'm telling y'all. So what have you been doing, brother, besides, doing your normal business thing? Have you had any other art projects come out or anything that these people could go check out besides doing cards for us?
Yeah, for sure. So if you on my Instagram, which is BP the Maker, you can see that I draw a lot, obviously, doing this, but I make a lot of stuff too, and I focus primarily on Star Wars props, helmets, blasters, lightsabers, and some Batman stuff. So if you guys want to see what I think is pretty cool stuff, check me out.
Well, I think they will think it's cool because obviously they are here, so y'all are into the same kind of stuff we are into, so obviously you need to go check it out. And you sent us back a good variety of cards here. And I know the Cave Maniacs are excited to hear you talk about why you chose to do what you did. So let's jump right into it here. Right up top, right up here, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Macho Man Randy Savage, with a white border and a fantastic colorful background. Man, tell us why you decided to do Macho Man.
Typically when I draw, it's a lot of Batman, a lot of Star Wars, so it's a lot of dark colors. And for some reason, when I was drawing this set, I wanted to just be something as colorful as possible. So I thought between Macho Man and Doink the Clown, which one would make the more sense? So I went with Macho Man.
They both would have made equal sense. So is there any specific reason why you chose this sunglass? Because, he had hundreds of colorful sunglasses.
Yeah, no, I think that one was probably at the time the easiest I could think of to replicate, because his glasses, like you said, they can get nuts with lightning and the classic 90s zigzags and stuff like that. But the checkerboard felt like it might be the easiest to replicate, so that's what I went with.
Okie dokie. Sounds good, and it is a fantastic Macho Man card. Somebody will be happy to have it in their collection. Next up here, we have a Mando. Is this Mando himself?
Yep, that's Din Djarin for you.
It is a fantastic card with the green background, with the sheen on the helmet. Not that you have to explain why you chose to do Mando, but why this card?
I love drawing Mandalorians. I'm a big fan of Mandalorians in general. I have my own custom character, my own custom costume, and I just love drawing a Mandalorian helmet. So, and Den is pretty popular, so I just went with him.
I like it. I dig it. Next up, we have one of my favorite characters from The Boys, and his character is really kind of like he's kind of like getting more important as the series goes on. So maybe we'll see what's going on with that. Black Noir. And what made you want to do this guy?
I love The Boys. It's one of my favorite shows, my favorite comics, and I just wanted the challenge of drawing an all black character because it can be hard to to draw an all black character and it to come out on paper. So I wanted to give it a shot and see if I could do it, and I was happy with how it turned out.
Yep, fantastic card. Next, we have another Mando. Tell everybody who this is.
That is the holiday special Boba Fett. So that's from, I want to say, the mid 80s, I believe. So he was blue and yellow, and it was a short 9-minute cartoon. I can't remember the name of it, but it was him, Luke, and Chewbacca. And that was basically the introduction to the blue and yellow Boba Fett.
Awesome. So he's never been seen in this style uniform other than that, huh?
Just in that cartoon that people don't really talk about because the holiday special is you either love it or you hate it, I suppose.
So where did he get this cool colored costume?
I think it was just a product of the time. Just colors popped out. They were trying to get kids' attention. So I don't think there was any rhyme or reason to it that I'm aware of.
Kind of like they were trying to make boats look like 57 Chevys.
Yeah.
Next, we have the cool version of Deadpool here. This is the X-Force uniform. This is his gray uniform. I actually like this uniform on Deadpool.
Yeah, big fan of that. I actually remember drawing that when I was watching Deadpool 2, and there's like a glimpse where a suit gets really dirty and looks like the gray one. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the X-Force Deadpool here.
See, I was all excited because we did an episode, I don't know how many weeks ago it aired, but we did basically movies that were being postponed because of the writer strike. We talked about the writer strike, and Deadpool had been moved up. It was like one of the only movies that didn't get postponed. It actually got pushed up, but now it's postponed. So
yeah.
just more disappointing news. Maybe they can all get this took care of and get all these people get an agreement. Get that took care of because I'm ready to see it. Next, we have a fan favorite. It doesn't matter what artist does it or what pose this guy's put in. This is always one of the first cards snatched up when Cave of Maniacs get the opportunity, and that's Darth Maul.
Yeah, I'll always draw Darth Maul. I love Star Wars, a big Star Wars fan. I have a Star Wars podcast, and one of my co-hosts, we call her Darth Mari because she's obsessed with the Sith. So I always do Darth Maul just to appease her.
Well, thank goodness for your co-host.
Yeah.
Shout out co-host Darth Mari. Next up, we have another Star Wars character. This guy, I really like. I can't say that I was a super huge fan of everything that happened on those shows, although I did watch them in their entirety. This character right here, like I was like, oh yeah, I love this dude. Like immediate bad guy vibes. Like he kind of gives you that sense of like what Boba Fett was kind of in the original movies. Like he's gonna get his man. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the real cowboy, if you will. Cad Bane is he has a long history with Boba Fett, and it was really cool to see him. And the way they introduced him in the show was brilliant. I loved it. How you could kind of see someone walking in the distance in the desert, and the closer it gets, you could hear the spurs. You could make out the big hat, and then isn't it? And it was just great when you realized it was Cad Bane. It was a real awesome moment for Star Wars fans.
Would you say that he's probably the best thing that come out of that show so far?
I'm the wrong person to ask because when it comes to Star Wars, the thing I love the most is the props, backgrounds, the overall designs, and then the characters themselves, and then the story is secondary. So I loved it, but I get why people wouldn't like it. So
understandable. Next, we have the other version of Deadpool here in the red suit for when he needs his red pants.
Yeah, yeah, I love drawing Deadpool. It's just a lot of fun. I love his suit.
And you can do a lot of things with him with just the eyes in the suit.
Yeah.
You can show a lot of facial expressions with just moving those eyes around. This guy's intrigued, and this dude means business.
Yeah.
This guy found out his girlfriend's cheating on him, and this guy's the guy that was doing the cheating.
Or dealt with it.
Yeah. So next we have another one of my favorite characters in DC Comics here. We have Jason Todd, a.k.a. the Red Hood. What made you want to do this guy?
Huge Batman fan. I've been since '89. That's been my jam. So anything Batman, I'm always happy to draw. But Jason in particular, I cosplay, and he's one of my characters that I cosplay. So I'm always going to draw him too.
Fantastic. Love me some Red Hood. Next here we have Batman. Now this suit here? This looks like the new Batman suit. Is that where this come from? The new Batman show?
Yep, that's Battinson for you.
Battinson, Robert Battinson.
Yeah, love that movie. Big fan of his portrayal of it. So
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did too, and I almost hate to admit it.
No, you know what? Ever since I don't know if you remember when they cast Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, and everyone lost their mind, and myself included. And then obviously we got what we got, and it was incredible. Ever since then, if I hear a movie casting, I'm just like, okay, let's see how it goes. And with Pattinson, I was like, okay, let's see. And Vindication, awesome.
Yeah, is good job, fantastic job. Next, I was educated about this wrestler because I am not that familiar with AEW, but all of you wrestling fans out there probably know. And you told me this was, let me, Lizardsaurus, Lizard. Wait, Reptar Libre.
He is the 65 million year old Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus. I knew I was close. Luchasaurus. He's 65 million years old.
Yep,
that's the gimmick.
That's the gimmick, and he's about 7 feet tall. He's really agile. He's toyetic. Like, just look at him. He looks like a comic book character.
Is he a lucha wrestler? Like, he's trained. He's got those.
He's physically too large to actually do it like legitimately, but he does throw some. He's trained in like Muay Thai and stuff like that, so he can do a lot of stuff. Just he's a wrestling big.
I'm going to be Googling this when we get done with this interview. Next year we have another Batman card, another fantastic Batman card. Which is this? Keaton's Batman?
That's Batfleck.
Ah.
It's kind of the same thing with Jason Todd. I've cosplayed Batfleck in the past, so I'm a big fan of his. I love the suit in the movie Batman vs Superman. The mech suit is what I cosplay, the big mechanical suit he has, which I think I did draw for this set, but I kept it for myself.
Stingy.
Yeah, sometimes gotta keep the good ones, I suppose.
Yeah, man, we send you the artist proofs because we want y'all to hang on to some of them,
Yeah, that's the only one I have left. Everybody else has bought the rest.
But when you show it off to people and you show off that cool suit, be sure you flip the back of that card around for me.
Always.
So what did you think about Ben Affleck's Batman?
I'm a huge fan. I feel so robbed that we're not getting more. I just begrudgingly went and saw The Flash, and just to see Batfleck and Keaton in it, and it was worth it.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess it was this morning where I follow all these pop culture, news outlets and stuff. So I'm always getting information. Try to hear about it as soon as I can if I'm going to say anything about it. So I try to learn about it as fast as I can. But I've seen where it's going to finish with less money globally than Green Lantern did with Ryan Reynolds in it back in The Gap, and that movie did I didn't mind it. You know what I mean? I was just happy to get a Green Lantern movie, and I always liked Ryan Reynolds. But it kind of says a lot. But maybe James Gunn's first action as leader of this here battalion shouldn't have been firing Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
maybe that shouldn't have been the first thing he did. Maybe we should have let these other movies come out before we fired Henry Cavill. Oh, Lord.
They literally had Superman, and they're like, "No, we're good."
Yeah, and he made this announcement where his team or whatever, and they talked about what it was that they were looking for their Superman, and they literally described Henry Cavill. How do you describe Henry Cavill and you fired this man?
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, he's geek Jesus. I mean,
yeah, he's in it. He believes in it.
Yeah, for real. Like, he's actually, he's the nerd we always wanted. He guarantee he's going to stick up for all the bullied kids on the playground type guy. You know what I mean? That's just who he is.
It's the jawline and the hair. It's predetermined.
It's such a fantastic portrayal of Superman. Next up, moving on down here to the bottom row, we have one of the orc guys from Lord of the Rings. No name specific, just creature goodness.
Yeah, it was popular at the time when we were drawing this set, and I remember that was like one of the main photos they were using for promotion, and I thought it was really cool. So I drew it. And I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, just not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but orcs are pretty cool.
Yep. I have to agree that the world that they built in those live action movies and stuff that they did with these characters and the CGI, and there's movies that are coming out today that aren't even as good still. So it's just fantastic work and a fantastic card. Next, another one of my favorite characters, a lot like Deadpool in some ways, only he can't heal himself, which makes him even cooler in my opinion, and that is Vigilante.
Yeah, I love the Peacemaker show, and Vigilante in particular was a real standout. So I had to draw him.
So here's the most important question anybody's going to ask you all week. Are you ready?
Yep.
Do you really want to taste it?
Should we start doing the dance or?
I tell you what, I can do it.
Crank the views up real quick on this video.
Yes, sir. Too bad YouTube would flag it. Darn you, YouTube. Okay, next up we have the Bad Batch
Wrecker.
I was finna say Breaker, but I knew that wasn't right. The Wrecker from Bad Batch. That's right. So, not that Bad Batch needs any explanation on why that's cool, but why this guy specifically.
Wrecker's my boy. He has never done anything wrong in his entire existence. No, I'm kidding. So Clone Force 99, they are experimental clones, so they don't look like the rest of them. They have different abilities or slightly different looks or whatever it is. Wrecker is much larger than all the other clones, much stronger, not terribly bright, but a heart of gold. So I do love me a big guy with a heart of gold. So Wrecker was my guy from Jump Street. I've made his helmet. I've drawn him on every set I've drawn since then. I love Wrecker.
Man, well, you did some amazing cards, and I can see that you really picked from stuff that you were passionate about, and we always love that. The Cave Maniacs love hearing those stories about why these cards were specifically chosen. So you said you told us about your Instagram. You told us about your day job. Are you going to any con appearances or anything like that where anybody that's watching this, that if they want to meet you in person, they could, come say hi, shake your hand?
Yeah, I am making my first ever trip to Dragon Con at the end of August. I am taking. I'm not setting up as an artist this time. I'm going to cosplay. So I'm going to do my Darth Revan that I just finished recently, and I wore to Awesome Con here in DC. And then I am going to, for the first time in 4 years, I'm going to break out my mech suit Batman and take him on the road. So Dragon Con, August 30th through the 1st, I believe.
August 30th, that's my birthday. Shout out.
There we go.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely take some pictures of you at this con and have somebody take some pictures of you in full cosplay and tag us, bro. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I can't go alone. I can't see I can't see in either costume.
Right.
So.
You gotta have an escort.
Yeah, I guess handlers.
That's right. Well, brother, do you got about 2 minutes to let me tell the people about some stuff we got going on?
Oh yeah, go for it. Get nuts.
All right, guys. Don't forget about the Saturday episode, guys. That's where you're going to see all the stuff that is not artist interview material. And Gabe's Cave After Dark is every Thursday night with your host, me, Uncle Nasty, and your new co-host, Kay Hizzle. Yeah. Well, appreciate it, brother, man. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, dude.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys having me on and then bringing me back on for another set. So I appreciate y'all.
Man, I'm sure every time you send in a little bit of application on there when we looking for artists, I'm pretty sure you'll get picked, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, Cave Maniacs. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Until next week, Uncle Nasty, man, we out.